Think about the severity or the scope of the news this week in terms of, the primary regulator is going after the largest, two exchanges in the world. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big week. And there was a pretty big drop. I mean, a 10% drop in BTC pretty quickly. But to your point, it recovered quite nicely. And ETH as well, and a number of the other coins that were named didn't really fall off a cliff and go to zero.
Mark Yusko is the founder, chief investment officer, and managing director of Morgan Creek Capital Management, an investment management firm that advises pension funds, endowments, and wealthy individuals. In today's video, Mark Yusko discussed his SEC lawsuits against Coinbase and Binance, what this means for exchanges and the U.S. crypto industry going forward. Mark Yusko believes that the recent crackdown on Coinbase and Binance by SEC is just the beginning of a broader crackdown on cryptocurrency exchanges. He believes that the SEC is likely to go after other exchanges, such as Kraken and Gemini, and that it could even try to regulate decentralized exchanges. The SEC is suing Coinbase, alleging that it's an unregistered securities broker after targeting Binance the day before. On Tuesday, SEC, headed by Gary Gensler, sued crypto exchange Coinbase for not registering as a securities broker. The day prior, the SEC filed charges against Binance for operating an unregistered securities exchange, also accusing CEO Changpeng Zhao of civil fraud. Yusko further explains that the SEC's crackdown is motivated by a number of factors, including the desire to protect investors from fraud and to ensure that cryptocurrency exchanges comply with all applicable regulations. He also believes that the SEC is concerned about the potential for cryptocurrency to be used for money laundering and other illegal activities. Overall, Yusko believes that the SEC's crackdown is a negative development for the cryptocurrency industry. However, he believes that it could have some positive consequences in the long run. Before proceeding further in this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button below for more recent updates about crypto market.
But starting last year, 2022, and I think it goes to 2027, then they fight you. But I contend that the good news, if you're here, if you're a Bitcoiner, if you're in crypto, if you're a builder, bidler, B-U-I-D-L, I don't know how to pronounce that. We've already won. I actually really believe that. I believe we have already won, and it is inevitable. And look, the people who have the most to lose, banks, insurance companies, brokers, the agents that accumulate $7 trillion of friction a year, and just let that number hang there for a second. That is 6 to 8% of global GDP every single year can be erased by this technology, by this innovation. Well, that's somebody's revenue. And Jamie and Moynihan and all these guys, they don't like that. They don't want that to happen. So anytime you see regulation through courts, that is a preemptive strike against disruption. There's not a lot of appetite to keep him around. In fact, there was a group of lawmakers this morning I read that want to go after him right now. Like, don't even let him survive till the end of Biden's term. So, and he's been chastised by the judge in the XRP case multiple times, not just once, but twice, where he basically said, "No, you're overstepping your bounds, and this is not accurate." I think the thing with Binance, and people say, "Oh, why are you defending Binance?" I'm not defending Binance. I'm just saying there is a thing called due process. You can't seize assets before you have an adjudication, I don't think. But here's the thing. What they do outside the US, it's not under our jurisdiction. And their unit in the US, yes, they have to follow the rules. The fact that the rules were not clear at all is a fact, right? The rules were not clear. And there was no requirement to register. There wasn't. These assets that are now being called securities were not at the time that these firms, both Coinbase and Binance US, came into being. So it's kind of a weird argument to say, well, now their securities. So you should have known 3-4 years ago that we were going to call them securities, and you should have registered.
It is important to note that Yusko is not the only person who has spoken up in favor of Binance. A number of other high-profile figures in the cryptocurrency industry, such as Charlie Lee and Anthony Pompliano, have also expressed their support for the exchange. It is very likely that more exchanges will be targeted in the coming months. However, going for the big dogs like Binance and Coinbase first seems strategically clever, as smaller companies will automatically adapt their activities to the new rules indicated by the outcome of the lawsuits. Yusko argues that Binance does not meet the definition of security because it does not pool the funds of its users. Instead, Binance allows users to trade cryptocurrencies directly with each other. This means that users are not investing in Binance, but are instead trading cryptocurrencies with each other. The SEC's lawsuit against Binance is still ongoing, and it is unclear what the outcome will be. However, Yusko's arguments suggest that he believes that Binance will eventually be able to defeat the SEC's lawsuit.
The crazy thing was the second part, where he made a request, he who shall remain nameless, made a request to seize assets of Binance, no matter where they were. Like due process, innocent to proven guilty. Remember, these are allegations in a lawsuit, okay? Not a criminal complaint, a civil lawsuit. I mean, it's wild. We are back to the wild, wild west. I mean, so let's separate the Binance from the Coinbase, which I think you did a really good job, because they are very, very different. But
they're very different.
Let's, on the Binance, this whole idea that, okay, people are saying he commingled funds. No, there's allegations that he commingled funds. We don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But that has to actually be proven, and it actually has to be, adjudicated. So that's one. Two, this idea that he sold unregistered securities. Here's the problem. No one ever called these things securities before they were sold. So now you're saying they're securities, and BUSD, it's a stable coin. Are you now going to declare, okay, are these guys going to declare all bank deposits as securities? All money market accounts are securities? Come on, to be consistent, that's what you would have to do. So look, I think the BUSD thing, the Binance thing for me is related to FTX, right? We know the CZ sold Alameda to Sam. Sam bought it back, paid a bunch of money, a bunch of FTT. It's just so nonsensical. And I get it, right? If your goal is, which I believe, to choke off this innovation. So that's a big, crazy goal. But if that's your goal, right, to choke off crypto, and everybody says, well, they just want to choke off crypto, not Bitcoin. Oh, no. They're coming for Bitcoin too, y'all.
Keely from Yield App shared a similar sentiment, stating that substantial upward movement can be anticipated only after a close above $30,500. Keely further noted that if Bitcoin manages to surpass this level multiple times, it could potentially mark the beginning of a new bull market. However, he cautioned that Bitcoin might experience a dip to around $24,000 in the medium term. And if that level is breached, the downward trend could persist. That's all about today's analysis. Do you agree with Mark Yusko's perspective on Bitcoin's performance in relation to the ongoing lawsuits involving Binance and Coinbase? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you found this information helpful, then like this video and subscribe to our channel. We will bring you more updates in the future.